All right, welcome back. This is Political Insiders. I'm John LeBoutillier here with Pat Caddell and Doug Schoen. We're on every Sunday night at 7:30 with Harris Faulkner. But this is a different take on things. We can get into a little more depth. The shooting last week in Charleston once again raised the issue of gun control. Hillary yesterday, over the weekend, brought it up. Doug said it's an issue that needs to be addressed. Is she serious? Is it going to go anywhere, or are we missing the boat on this?
I think she is serious. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think the real tragedy of this process is where there is a consensus with the American people, which is on background checks and expanding them, that we can't get an agreement. The NRA and the left, in their own ways and their own reasons, have failed to come together on it. I would tend, as a Democrat and somebody who's worked with Mike Bloomberg's gun initiative or anti-gun initiative, to blame the NRA. But regardless, I think the real losers are the American people.
All right, Pat?
Well, I think that, first of all, I don't think anything's going to happen. It would not, by the way. Let's immediately go to knee-jerk politics. I come from Charleston. We're all in the community uniting, trying to deal with this. We haven't even buried the dead. Hillary Clinton wants to do firearms control. Well, we could pass background checks that would not have stopped this. The problem is the father gave the gun to his son, which is insane. We don't have, I hold the parents in part.
That's the other issue, Pat, mental health.
Insane. The biggest issue of every one of these.
Mental health. We can't talk about mental health.
Young, antisocial, emotionally disturbed young men whose parents seem to enable them, like the Adam Lanza, his mother took him to the shooting range. They had guns in the house. Yeah. This kid, the father, as Pat said, gave this boy a gun for his
after he had been arrested twice.
And he's been to psychiatric care, and he's on medication, which has side effects, especially if you don't take the medication. There has to be parental responsibility. If your son or someone, a friend of your son, is at your house.
Pat, as a father and grandfather,
it'd be
is
great.
Par excellence. He is, and I would tell you, he and his family is both a devotee of hunting and shooting as a recreational art, but also gun safety.
Right, but Doug, you have a son, and when your son had friends over, right? If you allow alcohol in that house and some kid gets bombed and goes out and runs somebody over, you're liable for what went on. Why are you not liable if your son goes out and shoots and kills 8 people in a church?
I obviously would believe that there's substantial merit to that argument, John, and I was going to make another point. What's been happening on the gun control debate, it's been an either or. Mental health or background.
No, we don't even do mental health. We don't do mental health because it doesn't benefit the fundraising for the NRA.
Okay, we have 10 seconds. We also don't do the culture of violence in America, the video games, Hollywood, the whole thing.
All those things we're not allowed to because they're big contributors. Yeah. What we have to go back to is the guns, and the other thing is how much is this, the society is that we have not had any racial advancement in 50 years.
That's for another show, Pat.
Yes.
But we'll get to. For Doug and Pat, I'm John LeBoutillier. Join us Sunday night, 7:30 Fox News Channel with Harris Faulkner. Have a great week.